Hi, and today we're going to talk about endometriosis. But what does that even mean? Endometriosis is a reproductive disease where cells that are normally found inside of your uterus start to grow outside of your uterus. The lining of your uterus starts to grow in places that it shouldn't, which can cause symptoms like severe pain, problems with conception, scarring, and extreme blood loss. When I asked my sister to describe her experiences with the disease, she asked me if I wanted to know the gross parts or just the parts of her lying on her bathroom floor in pain, which pretty much sums up what this disease is for a lot of people. However, there are a lot of really weird misconceptions about what endometriosis, or endo, really is. And so that's what we're here to talk about today. So let's get down to business. Let's talk about the 3 biggest myths about endometriosis. Number 1. You're too young to have endometriosis. Originally, for doctors to diagnose someone with endo, it required a super invasive surgery called laparoscopy, which needed a 10 to 15 centimeter incision into the abdomen. Doctors were reluctant to resort to this form of surgery for anyone but the worst symptoms who were also past childbearing age. As a result, the myth that only women in their 30s and 40s could get this disease arose. However, since 1 in 10 women worldwide between the ages of 15 and 59 are affected, this leaves thousands of teenagers in suffering. Myth number 2. Honestly, you're just overreacting. Because of the lack of knowledge surrounding endo, it takes on average between 8 and 10 years for a woman to be diagnosed, with a whopping 68% of all patients being initially misdiagnosed with a different condition. Women are told things like, periods are supposed to hurt, or it's all in your head. And endometriosis follows the shocking pattern of doctors refusing to believe women about their own bodies. A study called The Girl Who Cried Pain by Diane Hoffman and Anita Tarzan found a direct correlation between gender and medical symptoms being completely ignored or pushed aside in deference to male patients. And still, this myth persists that endometriosis is just a made-up conception in people's heads. We need to start believing women about the pain they're experiencing in order for them to have the treatment that they actually need. Myth number 3. It's because you had sex too early, because you were assaulted, because you had an abortion, because there's something wrong with you. This might be the worst myth of all, that endo is somehow the fault of the woman. While there have been no completely proven theories, one of the most common indicators is genetic disposition. Studies actually show that first-degree relatives of women with endo are more likely to develop the disease. This can easily be seen in my family alone, where my mother, my grandmother, my aunt, my other aunt, and my sister all suffer from the condition. I'm one of the only blood-related women in my family who does not have endo. And this has nothing to do with my sexual preferences or my history. To sum it up, endometriosis is an issue that affects women all across the world, both young and old, and is a very real problem that women face. Maybe it's time we start thinking about the ways that our society blocks women from receiving the treatment that they truly need, and why we are so reluctant to see female pain as real. Well, that's all for today, but I hope that this video showed you a little bit more about why women's reproductive health is so important, and I hope you tune in next time to learn more.